Join us as we camp in the snow with our new diesel heater. Hey everyone, it's Josh and Kate from 4Running Around, and tonight we're going to be camping and testing out a new diesel heater we got. So for winter camping with this setup, we do things a little differently. We take the regular mattress out of the roof tent. At the end of the summer, like late fall, we take it out. And then once it gets like below freezing weather, we put up accordion foam pads as well as Thermarest like backpacking pads because they have a higher R value. Before we start the fire and start cooking and stuff, we like to get our sleeping area set up. That way it's warmed up and everything's all ready for afterwards. The sleeping pad I'm using is the Thermarest Neo Air X-Therm Max, it's called. And I believe it has like an R value of 7, and the max means that it's the rectangle form instead of like the curved edges. And that way you kind of stay on it a little bit better at night.
I'm going to be using the Thermarest Pro Light Plus, and this one has an R value of around 5. It is large and it's supposed to self-inflate, but in the cold it does not really.
We were too busy blowing up the pads and kind of missed filming this colorful light that was over here. The sun set over that way. It was a nice little mountain. It was a nice view. Thank you. This past week we got this little sticker for the back of the car. I kind of like it. I got it on Amazon. You can order custom stickers through there. It's 25 degrees and clear tonight with a slight breeze. So we're going to be using the Alps Mountaineering Blaze -20 synthetic sleeping bags, and they work really well. I really like these sleeping bags for cold weather camping, car camping only, as you can see how large they are. This is the XL and this is the regular size, and both of them were used. This one I got used on Facebook Marketplace for $60, and this one was used Prime Amazon return for $65.
Now that we got the lights put up and the fire started, we're gonna make this pina colada and coconut milk drink. We got this pina colada mix from Marshall's, and then the coconut milk is from Trader Joe's. Strain a generous shot of infused mix into a chilled glass. Top with your preferred beverage.
Kate just added coconut milk to this first one, and it looks kind of weird. But yeah. I think she's going to be the first one to try it, so let us know what you think.
It tastes good, but the consistency is weird.
It looks gross.
Yeah. I feel like if we blended it up, it would be actually pretty good because the flavor is nice. You want to give it a try?
Sure. We're not using the fridge or anything tonight. We're just using this little Playmate cooler by Igloo. Just folds down right here. And it's really all you need when you're going for one night and when it's this cold out.
We're making a HelloFresh meal tonight while we're camping, which we haven't done before. We're making lemon and dill chicken and couscous bowls.
They sound good. They look good. We've been making a couple other of these meals. Kate got like the free trial pack with I think you got like 8 or 10 meals. And this is one of them.
In our pot right now, we have the couscous cooking, and the liquid we're cooking it with is chicken stock concentrate, turmeric, oregano, and we mix that all with water and a little bit of salt.
We think the couscous is done. It's looking good.
Tomatoes, dill, and green onions, and lemon.
These will all go with the chicken cutlet. The drawer system is really cool, but as you can see, this is why my car no longer smells like a new car. It's gone on many camping trips, and every trip, food smell gets into the car since the stove is this close to the back of it. Dinner is done, and it looks really good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kate did most of the work.
How do you like it?
It's good. I really like the couscous, and I don't know what the white sauce is, but that's really good too.
It's yogurt, sour cream, and garlic powder with a little water.
Cool. We just cleaned up from dinner, and now I'm trying to get this fire going better. If I get close, you can see how wet the wood is and why we're having problems. Right on that log right over there. I just moved the fire from the teepee formation to this little stacked thing, and it seems to be doing better, but the big logs still don't want to catch. Hey, just checking in. We've been hanging out by the fire for the last hour or two, and I'm checking out the outhouse over here. It's actually been pushed over, and I wanted to investigate a little further. Interesting. It's definitely not a new outhouse. I hope that's just dirt. And a little metal roof. They definitely put time into making this, so it's unfortunate someone had to push it over. All right, let's see if it opens. Well, looks like a regular outhouse to me. I think I talk about it in every one of these videos, but these lights are still one of my favorite little things for camping, especially when you're car camping. They just add a lot of light. It's time to get the diesel heater started and warming up the tent. For a heater, I went with a Vevor, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Vevor brand diesel heater from Amazon. And when I got it, it was actually dented. If you zoom in over here, Kate, you might be able to show them that this side was dented in. And I kind of took this red casing off and tested it out before I put diesel in it and tried it for the first time. And nothing looked damaged. And I started it up last night at the house and it worked just fine. This diesel heater is an all-in-one unit, which means that there's no major assembly required after purchase. I did have to put the exhaust tube on, which is right there, that thing sticking up with a hose clamp, as well as this little inlet inlet tube on with another hose clamp on the bottom, but that was it. But I did buy a few other accessories to make it a little easier. And the first one is this 12-volt accessory plug. It's got a 12-volt on it on one end, as well as your positive and negative terminals on one end. And then we do have to have a jackery, because even though this thing produces heat from the diesel fuel inside, it does have this little controller thermostat thing on the front, and it needs 12-volt power to run this. And then the other item I bought was a more heavy-duty hose, and that way we can run this tube up into the tent. The heater does come with a hose, but it is more of like a one-time use thing. Once you stretch it apart, you can't get it back. And this one's a heavy-duty HVAC 3-inch tubing, which is very easy to put back to its smaller size once you use it. So now I'm going to turn the heater on and plug the Jackery in and attach this, and then I will check back in with how the heater is doing. The heater's been going for a couple minutes now, so I ran the tubing up here and hot air is coming out of the end right there. And I'm just gonna zip it in the tent for a little bit and see what it's like in a few minutes. The heater's been going for about 30 minutes now, and it's already really warm up there.
Oh wow.
How do you think it feels?
It definitely feels warm in here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's right about 10 o'clock. The last of the firewood is gone. The heater's been running for about an hour and a half at this point. Kate just climbed up into bed, and I think I'm gonna head up there now too, and we'll check in the morning. Good morning. The sleeping bag is way too warm. The heater works great. It's about 12 hours later and it's still blowing really hot air out, and I think we got a little bit of snow overnight. So let's take a look. Wow, this looks really pretty. We just heard a car drive by. There's a trail that goes up this way. We tried to go up there last night, but it was a little icy, so we kind of turned around. But if you go up another couple miles or so, there's a little bridge, a little stream you can drive through if you want. But we didn't make it there. I've made it there before. I'll include a couple clips of my old 4Runner driving on that trail and going through that creek. We're gonna try to turn off this heater from here, and that way it can start cooling down. It's not working. Next time I'll have to align the heater so that we can see the front of it so I can actually use this.
This heater works great. Last night I even woke up at some point and I felt like it was a little bit too hot in here.
You can see we got a decent amount of snow last night, probably a couple inches. Not too much, but we weren't really expecting to get snow, so it was kind of nice. We just took everything out of the tent and took down the diesel heater, and I moved it underneath the car because I'm still going to let it cool off a little bit before putting it back in. And now we're going to have some grapes and some cheese with some honey.
We have this cheese from Trader Joe's that was recommended. Creamy Toscano cheese soaked in Syrah. Some kind of Gouda. And some grapes and some goat cheese. Oh, whoa!
Overall, we were really happy with this heater. I still don't know exactly how to use this little remote, but I just turned it on, and once it got done with the priming, it worked just fine. And it has this little positive and negative thing back here to connect it to a 12-volt plug, and that's about it. It's very simple. When we started, it was full up here. Now it's right about where my finger is, and that was probably about 12 hours of this. And with that, the Jackery is about on half battery as well. Putting the roof tent down in the snow or wet is always fun. I'm gonna try to brush it off a little bit before I close it. But this is part of the reason why I always like to take the mattress out in the winter, because no matter what you do if it snows or with all the condensation, it's going to get wet.
Looks like there's a lot of snow on there.
Yeah, see, roof tents aren't all that great.
We did the best we could cleaning off the roof tent, but there's still definitely going to be some snow inside of it.
We decided we're gonna leave the campsite and go on a hike somewhere. It's kind of bumpy. There's that bigger mud pit up ahead. Currently just sliding. My foot is on the brake, not on the gas at all. The water is very peaceful. We stopped to take a look at the river, and this is actually where we started tubing from. We came here in July and tubed down the river a couple miles, and we had a really fun day, and now it is like this. I don't know if you can tell from here, but apparently that mud puddle we went through a little earlier was a lot deeper than I thought because I somehow bent the license plate forward. We're on River Road near Lake Luzerne, New York. And actually this area that we're out to now is the furthest point you can drive to in the winter. So pretty soon they'll have a sign right back there saying closed to wheeled vehicles because it turns into one big snowmobile trail once it snows. On the way in yesterday, we saw one other camper and the site was actually up here. So you still can get to this one once it snows. And I'm wondering if they're still there or not. It's easy to miss, it's on your left. And hopefully we can find it.
Oh, I see it.
Are they still there?
Doesn't look like it.
All right, so this is where we're gonna pull in just to see. I don't know what number this site is.
Number
This is
5.
site number 5. You can see this has an outhouse, picnic table, fire pit.
A pallet someone was burning.
I've actually stayed at this site once before. In January of this year, I came with my friends Jesse and Kyle, and it was very cold. It got down to -12. We were only there for one night, and we still had a fun time. We brought the generator and air fryer and made wings and just had an overall good night. As you can see, this looks like quite the hike. We've actually decided to walk in downtown Saratoga for something to do. This tree is really pretty. I'm sure it's even prettier at night with all these lights and stuff. It's already pretty. The other night we went to Druthers in Clifton Park, and now we're at the Saratoga one, and I just stopped in and bought a 4-pack of this beer I had the other night. It's called Uncurious, and it's a New England IPA, and it was really good.
We just walked around Saratoga for a while. We hope you enjoyed our video. We would really recommend the diesel heater. We feel like it made a great difference in the temperature of our roof tent.